Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I cannot believe it, but it has been 1 year since I've owned the Bronco. So today's video is going to be a general review about what I thought about my first year of ownership. And I'm also going to answer some questions that you guys have submitted that you wanted answered about the Bronco. So stay tuned.
Buckle up, Buttercup!
Before I get started, I wanted to share with you an opportunity that Reuters has presented me with. They actually have a link down in the description below that is a brochure about an automotive event that they're going to be having out in October. And there is a chance that I could be hosting or being on a panel asking Ford executives questions. So they wanted to see if you guys wanted to see some content like that, if you think that would be a good fit for our channel. So if that is something that you think you would want to see, go ahead and download the information on that brochure. It kind of tells you about the event and everything, and it's going to show them the interest that my channel has brought to that subject. And if it does bring the amount of interest that they want, it may be something that I'll be able to do. So I appreciate your support in that. But let's get started with the review. The first thing I'm going to do is answer some questions that you guys have submitted. And then towards the end of this video, I'm going to wrap it up and just give you my own personal 1-year review about the Bronco. I had a couple questions about suspension. So do you plan any major upgrades, lift, locker, suspension? And someone even asked if I would be interested in a well-known high-performance company like King and Fox and replacing the upper and lower control arms. It would be cool to see Buttercup with this on. Now, I do have the 4-inch FabTech with new upper control arms, but it's not coilovers. I am definitely interested in adding a better, I guess you call, suspension to it. At this time, it's not a priority because I am happy with what I have. I'm also interested in the air lockers that ARB, I think, is going to come out with rather soon, because I do have the air compressor, and I think overall, I think that would be really cool to see. And maybe people would stop giving me trouble about not having lockers. Next question is, you have cloth seats. Would you ever consider putting seat covers on Buttercup? And it's funny that you asked this, because in a video that's coming up in a couple weeks, I've actually put on some marine grade vinyl seat covers. They're custom seat covers from PRP Seats. So you could stay tuned for that video. Next question. This is a heavy and loaded question. What all mods have you done to the Bronco? And to be honest, I don't think I could even count them all right now, but I have made videos on all of them, so you can check out the channel. But just off the top of my head, I have the Bodyguard bumpers, RTR wheels, the 35 BFG KO2s. I got the blow-off valve. I got the wrap, Borla exhaust, Cannon air intake. I have the PRP seats. Soon I have the Oracle letters coming. I have rigid lights, Baja design lights. I don't know. I'll have to go through the videos and see actually how many mods I have done to this thing, but it's a lot. Why did you wrap your Bronco, and why didn't you get leather interior? I wrapped the Bronco because I wanted to be different, and I thought it would also be a good way to go off-roading and protect the paint. So if I decided, I didn't want the wrap anymore and I did some crazy off-roading, at least I could take the wrap off and the paint underneath is protected. The reason I didn't get leather was because of cost, and I really wanted the marine grade vinyl, but it wasn't offered for the Outer Banks. But I'll talk a little bit later in this video about why I built my Bronco the way that I did. Are you still planning on getting your Badlands? And if you are, what are you going to do with your Outer Banks? That is a great question, and it is something that I ask myself all the time. I do have my Badlands still on order. However, I don't really know what the plan is going to be at this point. I don't know if I'm going to keep both or, just sell this one, sell the Badlands. I'm not even sure if I would take, these mods and then put them on the Badlands, or just do a completely different build on the Badlands. I'm interested in your guys' feedback, what you would like to see. I don't really see the sense of having 2 Broncos, but Buttercup's part of the family, and I just really don't know what to do. So if you have any input on that, I'm definitely open to hearing it. How do you like the soft top, and do you ever plan to upgrade to the best top? I am actually very happy with the soft top. As far as noise and everything, it has never been bothersome to me. I had a little bit of a whistle, but since I've had the lift kit, it's not whistling as bad. I always have music going or talking on the phone, talking to the kids. So the noise level of having a soft top does not bother me. I have driven in hard tops, and I mean, they're kind of noisy too, maybe not as noisy as a soft top. Overall, would I order a soft top again? Yes, and I actually did with the Badlands. With the best top, I used to not be a huge fan of it because it never went completely all the way back down, like towards the tailgate, like the OEM soft top does. I used to see that as being a problem, but now that I think about it, it does go all the way back towards the top part of the roll bar. And I kind of see that as a positive now, only because it's not blocking your vision in the back in the rear view mirror. You're not gonna, see the soft top. However, that is a problem with me when it comes to my garage door, because we all know that if the top is half back with the stock soft top, I don't fit, and it's a problem. And I'm pretty sure that the height of the bus top folded back, I would have the same issue. So at this time, I don't plan to upgrade to the bus top, but I'm not going to say it's completely out of the question. When you take your soft top windows out, where do you store them? That's actually a great question, but I don't do anything fancy. What I do is I take the windows out and I have beach towels, and I wrap them in a beach towel and I put them on a shelf in the garage. Now, I have heard, I had a couple of people reach out to me saying that Amazon does make some bags for Jeep windows, and they are compatible for the Bronco windows. So that's probably something I am going to do here in the near future, and I will definitely make a video and let you know how compatible it is and a review about it. What has all broken on your Bronco? Now, I would say nothing. I did have a check engine light issue, and it ended up being an air intake sensor. I do have a video about that you guys can watch. I'll put the link to that video up above. That was covered under warranty. As far as anything else breaking, I haven't had any major issues besides the soft top, which was, something that I've done with the issue with my garage door running into it. It never actually broke my soft top, but my soft top isn't 100% from doing it. But it is built Ford tough. I am surprised as many times as it has hit the garage door that there isn't any major damage, which is good for me. Were your stock side steps rock rails enough for off-roading? I already got a chip and it wasn't even off-roading. Now, I don't know who submitted this question. Now, with the Outer Banks, you do get the steps. I never had any issues with rock chips, but if you do have the Sasquatch package, I have heard that those tires really kick up the rocks. And if you have a Badlands that only has the rock rails, you don't have any protection with a step at all. Right now, I have the Bodyguard rock slider, so it does stick out a little bit. It's not like a huge major step, but I do not have any issues with rock chips that I'm aware of, but I do have the wrap. I know the wrap does probably give it a little bit more protection. And even after taking it off-road, I've never had any rock chip issues. So I would say yes, but it also depends on your tires. I have the BFG KO2s. Those don't seem to kick up rocks too much. So it may depend on the kind of tires you have if you have that problem. Would you upgrade to the 2.7? Would you have gotten a hardtop instead? And would you change anything from your original build spec? This is a great question. With my Badlands, I did order the 2.7 liter, and that's because I wanted one pedal, and I figured if I'm going to order another Bronco, I may as well get the faster one. However, do I regret getting the 2.3? Not at all, because I think there's enough power there. I don't do a lot of towing, and even if I did tow a small camper or jet skis, I really do think there's enough power there. So I have no regrets on, keeping the 2.3 liter. It has a great pep in its step for what it is. And I would definitely not get a hardtop. Living in Florida, I have the top down most of the time, but as you can see right now, it is raining. So a lot of times when I'm out and about, it'll start raining and I could just put the top back up and it's easily done. I could do it at any time. So I have no desire to ever have a hardtop. I do like the looks of the hardtop when it's on and also completely off. I have had the soft top completely off, but I would never do that again. There's no way I could even do it by myself now. It's just not an option for me. So I'm team soft top all the way. And is there anything that I would change from my original build, from Outer Banks? Yes and no. And I'll get into the build here in a minute and why I chose it. But I am very happy with my choices here. Have I learned things within the past year that I would change or that I would need? Yes. And I'll get more into that in just a few minutes. So now that I answered some of the questions that you guys have submitted, now is the time to kind of look back 2 years ago. Like many of you, we were a day one reservation holder. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'll just kind of give you a recap of how our story unfolded. Originally, Matt, which is now my ex-husband, was originally going to order the Bronco for his own daily driver. He placed the order, day one reservation. When the computer kept crashing and everything, we were within the first couple of hours of a reservation. And then the Bronco came in, we ordered right when like the ordering banks opened, it was like March, I think, we placed our order. We placed our order based off the constraints that were known at that time. And if I remember correctly, I know 2.7s were a constraint item, tow package, Lux, Sasquatch. There was some other things, but those were like the main ones that hardtop. So we picked Outer Banks with the high package, non-Sasquatch, non-towing, because we figured that is the fastest way that we could get the Bronco. Now, in the meantime of that, Matt bought a brand new Super Duty truck, and that was going to be his new daily driver. And we were no longer going to get the Bronco, but the kids and I were really sad about it. We were looking forward to Bronco life, having the top back. You know, we had some Jeep Wranglers in years past, and they're just kind of fun vehicles. I was not an off-road enthusiast at the time. I've always been a car girl, but I wouldn't say like I wasn't majorly into Broncos. My dad did have a Bronco when I was younger, but it wasn't like something I had a major passion about like how I do now. So we built the Outer Banks, which is known to be the mall crawler. So one day I was driving in my van, the soccer mobile. I was just like, you know what? Why don't I just take the Bronco? So I came home one day and I told Matt, I'm like, you know what? I'll sell the van, I'll take the Bronco. So it was 1 day shy of a year on July 12th, 2021, our Bronco got delivered to the dealership and we picked it up and it became my new mom mobile. I was a little hesitant because, I have 3 kids, I homeschool them, it's my daily driver. I was just a little nervous going from a van to, a fun off-road SUV truck. And my main concern was space and comfort. Now, after test driving it and driving it the first week, I was very happy with it. It drives great. And that was even before I did the lift and all that. Even now, I'm very satisfied with how it drives. As a daily driver for a family, there's enough space. Of course, you're not going to have a ton of space like a huge SUV or a van, but I am able to fit all my groceries, all my shopping trips, all of the kids' belongings just fine. And it's kind of fun because it's a fun vehicle. It's just not like a normal car. It's fun. You can put the top back, the windows down, and it just gives a really good vibe. Another reason why when we ordered the Outer Banks was I liked the painted flares, the painted handles, door handles, and the painted mirrors. That's what the Outer Banks that comes stock. Now, I used to be asked that all the time, hey, where did you go to get your flares painted? No, I didn't go anywhere. It came like that stock. I like that so much, in fact, that when I ordered my Badlands, I ordered the same cactus gray. And whenever that comes in, I'm going to probably swap the flares, the mirrors, and the handles so it is color matching. I don't know why, that's just a preference thing, but that is another offering that Outer Banks has that Badlands doesn't have that I liked. Now, going back, would I change anything about my order? Probably not, because the goal was to get the Bronco as soon as possible. Now that I have a passion for off-roading and I'm, very much Bronco enthusiast, would I change things? Yes, which is why I have the Badlands on order. Some of the major things that I'm looking forward to, not only like the lockers and stay bar disconnect, yes, that's great, but day-to-day use, you're not really using it all the time, so it's not as important. That's more for like the fun side of it. But for day-to-day use, I live in Florida, I go to the beach, I go off-roading, I've got kids, they're messy. I really want the marine grade vinyl and the washout flooring because it would just make cleaning this so much easier. But in the meantime, I have replaced and put some seat covers on it. I have the PRP marine grade vinyl custom seat covers that fit like a glove. And I will have a video out on that very soon, and you can see the installation and quality of it. But I'm very happy with that. That's going to get me by until my Badlands comes in and I'll have the marine grade vinyl seats. One thing I will say about the Bronco is the speakers are not great. And I've heard even the B&O system, and the B&O system is an upgrade compared to the stock system, but to me, it's still not good enough. That would be the one mod that I would do. That would be the first thing. Like, I pick up from the dealership, I would go get speakers and the stereo upgraded. I do like the high package. Lux, I heard the steering wheel heating thing doesn't work that great. I live in Florida, it doesn't matter. And the wireless charging is not a big deal to me. And the adaptive cruise control, of course, was not a deal breaker. I don't do a lot of long distance highway travel. So as far as the high package, I'm very happy with that. I love the big screen. And I feel like Sync 4 works better on that screen than on the smaller screens that, aren't on the high package. Someone also asked me before, are there any mods that I've done to this that I regret? And so far, no. I enjoy all the mods that I have done to this. And I think that's one takeaway from the Bronco that I really enjoy, is that there's so much to do to it already to make it your own. Now, I know Jeep has so many more options, but companies are coming out with more and more options for Bronco. And I think that's really fun. You can personalize it to have it match your personality. But one thing that I did not expect at all with getting a Bronco is the community that comes with it, the friends that you make, the memories off-roading. That's something that I would have never thought to put in a review about the Bronco. The vehicle itself rides great, has enough power, it's been good quality. I haven't had any major issues. A couple things that I don't have that people may not realize. If you have a 2.7, you have the one pedal option. Having the 2.3, you do not have that. It's not a deal breaker, but I do plan to do a little bit of rock crawling here in the future where I feel like one pedal would maybe be a little bit beneficial to me. And of course, having lockers and a stay bar disconnect as I am going off-road more, that is going to come in more handy. But I'm happy that I started with an Outer Banks because it's given me a little bit more experience of technique over technology. And I feel like I have become a better driver. But after seeing others, you know, not having to try something 3 times, they just press a button and they get over it, it is kind of nice. But it does take the excitement out of it. However, if you don't do a lot of off-roading, like I off-road a lot, but this is mainly a daily driver. The Outer Banks is 100% capable. In fact, all of the Broncos are capable. I've been around Wild Tracks, First Editions, Badlands, Base, Big Bend, all of them. Some can do it 1 try, some twice, sometimes 3 times. And it all depends on the driver as well. But the Bronco is very capable off-road and it's very comfortable as a daily driver. I was a little nervous because I had Jeeps in the past. I was worried about the death wobble and just, is it going to drive like a truck? Is it going to be clunky? And it is such a smooth ride. The noise is not bad with the soft top, and the quality of it overall has far exceeded my expectations. Looking back, I don't think I would really change anything about my builds. I also don't think I would change anything with the mods that I have done to it. I'm happy with it. I like it. I think it's a fun car and it gets the job done. I would say one mod that I wish I got was the aux switches, because we all know I have lights and all that and I just have them dangling down by my knees, but not for long because I did get an aux switch panel that I'll be doing a video about, but that is something that comes stock with the Badlands, and that's going to be an upgrade for whenever I get the Badlands as well. If you guys have any other questions about it, feel free to leave a comment. You can find me on social medias and ask me questions. But that's going to wrap up this video. It's been a year. And it's crazy. And I think I've answered most of your guys' questions. A lot of them were really similar. So if I overlooked it or you have a question that I didn't, answer, feel free to leave a comment on this video. And also, if you're interested in that Reuters Automotive event, and if you want to see me cover some content on it, go ahead and download that brochure. The link is in the description below. If you want to support the channel, we got a Patreon account. Be sure to follow us on social media. I just appreciate your guys' support right now. I know we haven't been putting out as many videos as usual just because we are moving and there's just not enough hours in the day. So if you're on the fence on getting a Bronco, I would say get it because they're friggin' awesome. That's going to wrap up this video. If you guys have additional questions or specific questions of what you want to know within my first year of ownership, feel free to leave a comment below. I'll definitely be sure to get that answered for you. Just stay tuned. Lots of awesome videos coming your way. Until I talk to you guys next time, buckle up, Buttercup. I was trying to go. The electric went off. Great.